George? Georgie? Say hello. Yes, good boy, Georgie. Alright guys, let's cut into the content after Georgie. Okay guys, let's run to the next model. Let's start off with the players. The players will be the fire department. It waits to the next day to bring out the trucks to start helping. Motorcycle. Guy has a motorcycle type scooter inside his apartment, which is crazy as hell, right? That he's allowed to bring it through the lobby and nobody stops him. So we've got some, noises and things that can go on that are kind of, odd, if you will. We've got our 8 vehicles now. The locations are kind of, they're close enough for now. You'll see where we're going to go with this. We have our identifying pole, which is be our punch shearing down the center line here. And that center line is here. Butterflying, right? All the way down. Butterfly. Whoops. 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 Alright, it's going to have some reaction there. As this goes down first, I believe it can pull or torque our deck. It can torque our deck around a little bit if it's tied there. It can bring us around. We'll get to it. And part of this also went down. The character is, this is Mr. I see what's going on. This is the sun now. He comes out supposedly to the porch, and with his great vision, he sees, he sees the cars go down, and he says part of the pool deck from his view. So part of his view, he sees that go down. There's the planter box in front of him. Mama Bear by then, she's already out here in the lobby complaining about some noises she heard. About, it felt like a floor collapsing, the daughter said. Felt like the floor was collapsing. Little daughter said. The little angel. She says, the thing was collapsing. Here's one eye. This is NIST up here. And that character there is represents Surfside's, Mayors, and Winky Police Department. Just all cool, could care less, whatever. NIST is up to the shenanigans, hiding their materials, hiding, destroying evidence. So we know by the columns out here they're destroying it. Let's get you some home run stuff first. Let's start talking about, well, there's the black car. That's where the black car would have been, yeah, right here. Black car right there. We're going to not put the black car in just yet. Let's talk about the tile. I put that in the previous video. The tile we see here where the fire department shows up, we see all this broken pop tile. So all I did was grab some stickies, if you will, put it on some cork, and I want you to visualize what happens when I flex this and drop it. And as it drops down, these are going to break apart. They're going to fracture away. They're going to blast off of the flexed area right there. Let me put this out of the way. That would be right about there. And they go down and they fracture off right here in this zone. In this zone over here we have stamped concrete. So that's not the same issue. This is where we get our shear plane, right about here with the structure. I can move things away and put them back. Oh no, this one's glued. So, let's talk about the bulkhead. So I got to getting you put together. There's a steel bulkhead behind that wall, that concrete wall system. There's a bulkhead. There's the upper level porch, if you will, the deck behind it where the cop walks and looks over the wall. That would be your wall system. They look over. You can continue it down. Again, the bulkhead system is down here and the concrete walls inside. So we got cars that are looking like, some of them are looking like that. Well, remember there's parking underneath of this department also, right? There's one in this area here, a compartment area. So some cars are parked forward. There's some bumpers there, and that would create a different reaction. Let's stay here in this area first. So we get the cars going down. We get punk shearing around this column there. So let's pull the car off, and we get this butterfly effect, right? Punk shearing all the way down. All the way down. I don't want to do that to that. because that didn't act like a cantilever like that. It acted like a pulling effect to pull on the deck and pull it over perhaps. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to take some liberty here and push this over to here so we can see the columns, exposed. And this one I might have to take liberty and put it over here. Before I do that though, I want you to notice the rebar that's hanging from the ceiling here. That rebar was hanging from the ceiling as the fire department was looking through, and they were standing out here by the, right about here, by the flower boxes, which I don't have present. You can see the staggered columns. You are looking at the exact location where the columns are supposed to be. I glued blocks exactly where they're supposed to be. And so that's what one would look like, if you will. Let me take out the cars. They're not very important to us at this point because they just cause the reaction. Now let's look at it without cars. So get that out of your mind. Clean your mind up with that. Cars being removed. Let's put back my one member over here. Put the butterfly back in line. So now, this one punctures. There's a column here. I'm sorry. Where are you hiding at? There's a column right there. There's a column. Where's the next column? Wait a minute. Where's the plot out of the way? Where's the next column? Wait a minute. Oh, there is no next column from here over. Okay, let's put that back. Our puncturing goes all the way up to our tributary area. It goes from here all the way over. Steel going across, trying to hold that together. Let's go ahead and put down the deck. Let's grab this one. Let's put these back in. Some glue, obviously. Strings of glue held it. Now right there's probably a car under there that held that up a little bit, because on this side the cars present up a little bit with the flower boxes. With the flower boxes. Okay, so they sort of present on a hill like that. This one sort of presents on a hill on this side. You know, a little bit, maybe a little bit more forward like that. This is bent over, so that would be a car probably parked right there, underneath of there, and it fractured it over that direction. So that gives you an idea of the profile, if you will. This is punctured, so now we have cars, including the truck down here. And turn that around. We're not on top of the columns because they parked around the columns. I guess if I could only, maybe it's a little scrubby fit in there. A little scrubby squeezes in. Okay. So then there's car there. Flower boxes here. No car, and this one's a car is leaning against the truck. We got another car there, but we just, my cars, they're too big. Right? I need two little scrubbies. I got another scrubby. I don't know what I did with him. So we get this collapsing down. As you can see, it just punctured around these two columns here, 1 and 2, and staggered. So that was a home run. That was easy. This one out here by itself is a home run. That's an easy one to puncture around. So then we get this drape. When this goes down, it pulls on and releases itself from this BMA here. So there's your BMA. Let's go ahead and pull it away. I-man, let's go back to there. So they hear the noise. Mama bear hears the noise. They're in the shower. The little girl's in the shower, showering up. She takes off. She doesn't take off. Somehow she gets out of the shower all during this time before Mom comes back. But Mom leaves because she's hearing noises and sounds like banging going on. At 611, room 611, the lady gets up. She hears noises. She's going to go close her door, not because she thinks anything more. She's going to close her door to stop the noise. Gets to the door, and Tom tells me that it's around column L that she looks to the right of the wall and sees from the top of the wall down a crack, which would indicate that the front column L is somewhat one of the floors, or the floor itself is going down. Right? We can play around with how we get there from this being pulled out of alignment. So I did a model here with just pins, and these would be floors. And if you were to pull one of these out of alignment, say you pull that one outwards like that, you would deform the floor. The floor staying flat, you would deform it, and you can get a crack starting, you know, however way. We can pull it that way, or we can push it in and cause the crack. So we can get pushing or pulling to cause the walls to deform. Let's just go from there, because we don't actually know where the crack exactly was. During that time, Mama comes back. She catches them two in the hallway. Mama Bear says, "Yo, yo, yo, we got to skedaddle." They skedaddle. Little angel girl with their have to wear clothing. Hero boy, he goes out. They're out of the picture. They're gone. 4 minutes before the collapse, the lady takes a videotape of what she heard. What she heard was the Big Bang. But before that, the mom was inside the lobby area complaining about the noise. And when she was doing that, the garage went down. I believe that's when One Eye, Sharp Eye, the son came outside, Laser Eye. He came outside, observed the pool deck and the parking garage go down, not knowing that he's standing here on his own deck, that it possibly went right up to the face of him, and he didn't realize it. Mom came back in. It obviously didn't go right to where he was standing. You know, he said he was on the deck. He went outside to look, so that would put him on the deck. The mom came, you know, then he goes back. He sees that happening. The mom saw it happen. She went to the end of the lobby right here, looked out, and saw that this collapse. She came back. She caught them in the hallway. Said, "Let's run. It's an earthquake. Earthquake." While that is down, some people make phone calls to their significant others saying things like, "Hey, there's a sinkhole out there." From their view, it looks like a sinkhole. Not rattling the building, but a sinkhole. That would be over on this side of the building. So it didn't make it through here shaking the building, or did it? Because the person had to wake up to look, or at least take an observation at that point. So, you know, some noise went on, something went on to make them get their attention to look that direction. They describe it as a sinkhole, some people do. Some people describe it as an earthquake, the people that are actually more close to it, I believe, more close to the vibration. Going back to the setup of the tributary in critical shear areas, you see that right down this path here, we have a huge section that is not on a column. That it has to go from here to get to transfer the loads. As I move this out of the way, we look here. This is where they sampled. Let's move this one out of the way, and we see there's the BMA there. There's a new flower box added, and right about in front of the flower box, which I have, this is the flower box in front of the beam, the column. This is the flower box. I have them doing their samples. This is the sample area. That is the core sample area, I believe. I have this one overlaid over top of it just for simplicity, for our reasons, but we can now move it out. We now lay this back on top. We put our flower box, we'll move this out, we'll move this pin out, move the other pin out. We put back one of our drapes back in on top of the column, as you can see, one column. It punctures around there. It goes down to the deck. Let's grab another one. That's my notch one. Notch one belongs somewhere else. I think the notch one belongs down. Where's my notch one belong? Right there. So there's my notch one. It punctures around. See the notch? Around the deck. Around this one, or it takes it out. That one there. Yeah, I've been gluing, hot gluing. I've burned my fingers, blistered myself, and everything for you guys. Alright. So then we lay this one next to it. So let's try to get, you know, these sticks are, you know, not to scale, obviously. But let's put on top of there the planer box. So the planer box goes down with this drape here, with this section here, pulling against this BMH. Pulling against this BMH right here. it drapes down all the way down there. There's our drape. Our drape is still there. I have the sticks underneath to just represent that. Let's now lay them down. Let's take a little liberally. Let's move them. Let's move a couple of them out, just so you can see it. Let's move this one over. Let's leave the flower box in. Let's move that one over to represent puncturing. There's no twisting going on there. I just want you to see that there doesn't take much, this area here, for that just to pull right on down. Now the drape happened here down the middle. It came to this construction joint, which goes all the way through. There's a construction joint. This pink line goes at least up to there, up to the front of the, up to the slab drop, which is supposed to be 2'6", which is now 1'6". That's the way I have the slab drop looking for you guys. As you look at it, this is the deck, and then it will come up to here. That's the way I did the detail to make it so you can look at it. That's not the deck, obviously. It's up higher. But I wanted you to see what it would look like on the construction joint, showing that the construction joint is right down here, which is right along, sitting on top of the head of this one. If you look at the construction of the failure, when we look at it in images and you see the firemen inside there, you look this direction and you can see that they can see it's caught the vehicles in there, but you also see the drapes. And my drapes are those pieces of sticks you see there. The drapes would be the reinforcement down to the deck that's on the floor now. Puncturing took place on that one because that's on the deck. This is possibly sitting on a car a little bit, so this will be up just a hair up. These guys, this one's exposed. You can see, you can find that one. We can find this one exposed. We can find this one exposed. We see this is exposed. This is exposed. This one's exposed. The flower planter blocks is configured just about like that. So it was 7 foot away, but now it's configured something like that perhaps. Maybe it got pulled away a little bit. When this went down, it pulled on the box a bit. We see over in this section, before you go into the building, it's a little bit of ledge left. And we see on the back side here a planter box that's gone down also. That would leave this section to the wall left. It goes down also. When it goes down, I believe it pulled down this BMA right here, leaving this column up. Right there. That column is pointed up. This BMA is gone. The pool deck, this is dropped down with it. So what happened was all this area went down together, all the way over to here, up to the construction joint, up to the construction joint, up to the face of the building. And we have our timeline. After this collapses, she films here. People say they see a couch. That could be our couch here. Or it could be the other flower box that was, it was 2 levels, so two levels is the porch level up here. So this could be the flower box and another flower box here, right? There's 2 levels or 3 levels here. Nevertheless, there's your couch. You use compression, you get it to line up with this one. Can we get this to fall down too? Sure, but it's pretty thick. It's 1'6". That would make it look larger. It's at least 1'6" on the depth there. So you can have it doing this, or you can have it bringing down the deck right there between it. Let's talk about how this transfers the load around back into the structure. Before we do that, on this side, as you look from the helicopter images, you'd be able to see that right here is some rebar reinforcement. Here's a construction joint. It shifts over, it comes over to this point, and right about here, well, there's a dotted line, it turns. And then there's some rebar hanging right about there. That's your rebar reinforcement hanging. So right about there. So that shows that the deck, that this held on. This held on. What are we talking about? That's held on. Let's pull it away. Let's reveal it. Oh, pretty significant. It's a BMA. It's the column there. There's another column. It's very close to our construction joint. So this is pretty well reinforced. This is what you guys see is a U-beam and also the H-beam. U as it's left, H as it's originally designed. It comes all the way out to here. Let's see if I can get you a better look of it. It comes out to here, and it connects on this column here and here. When this went down, it shifted this direction, tearing off the back end of it here and here. These columns have now been deteriorated down to, they've been cut, whacked at, and everything else. Let's pull off this part by the pool. This is the pool. Let's pull this deck off. As you pull the deck off, this is where the fireman visually can see the vehicles parked. Right about here is a vehicle parked. It's a couple of vehicles parked actually. There's a, I think it's that one and maybe another one parked. Now how do they get in and out? They come here, turn, and they exit that way. So they're parked in there. And the deck is not quite on top of them. They can stand full height there. Because the column, this is a column right here. I'm taking liberty here because I need to do this drape detail to show you, but the firemen are standing in water over to here. There's a column right there, and the other column is right here. That's the one with the construction joint, don't forget. That's the other column holding the part of that deck up. And that's when I'm going to put this back, because it's got a cantilever over that. Not only it doesn't just break there, it cantilevers over a bit. So I cantilever over that column a bit, taking some liberty with the car. The firemen go under, they then do propping of that area, they prop it up. So now we see our butterfly action of our deck. We understand how it can pull on this, how it's so free in the sections, how it's so clearly open. Here, there's no, let's pull that away for a second. Now we'll leave it there. That it clearly has this huge tributary areas that are open all the way to the deck. So from this one column here, once it punctures through that column there and that drape effect happens, it's a long drape. And it still fractures right about there because we don't see the separation of rebar. It's not for free. When it goes down, if you look at the profile of it, if it goes down, if I change the profile like that, I've shortened, I'm pulling on what's in my right hand over here to drop from, it's about 8 feet high, to drop down and meet there. I had to pull on the wall. It pulls on this BMA right here. It pulls on it. It's not for free. It doesn't go down for free. That wall there, I'm going to leave it on that column, and I'm going to push down here. And it separates. It pulls. It's not for free. It punctures around it though, but it goes. It pulls on both ends as it goes down. On this side, we see the flappy material going that direction. It's probably because there's vehicles parked under there, and it changes direction right about here. It fractures and changes direction, going that direction there. So that puts us back to, as I was saying, how it gets around the structure. The face of the structure does not have a drop slab here, but it drop slabs, it's sort of kind of, so it's 1'6" here. It turns, let's remove the pot. Let's remove these details, just because we can now. And let's look at the deck in this capacity. Maybe you can see it reveal itself and talk to you. Let's move this stuff out of the way there. So we come this way, we turn, and it doesn't go straight across. It jogs across the BMA, it reinforces itself here, hits another BMA, reinforces itself, hits another BMA, comes back, and then it hits the beams coming across here. So the face of the building gets its rigidity by staggering using this section here. So if you pull that section out, you lose this rigidity of the front of the building. You lose L and M, which is where the lady, 6th floor, we're at 611, we're above here. You start yanking on this, it's not for free. Which one probably did the yanking the most? Well, this has got a column in front of it, and this has got a column. So puncturing around these, it's kind of slow, it's going to reduce the speed to some degrees momentum. But from here, all the way through to there, that is not going to be, that's my butterfly down the middle right here. That is not going to be for free. Let's put that one back again. That one is not going to be for free as it's up there connected. And you pull down you're going to pull that weight of that deck is going to want to pull that down. At the same time, since it's steel from here to here, it's going to pull these in. So it's going to want to consolidate and stress in that capacity. Doing so is where we start getting the failure, Moulin line M. The consolidation materials there and going that way. Remember, the deck tied, the steel is tying all this together. But we have a serious fractured deck here under our sampling. As you saw, the samples are really, really terrible. This is our driveway area. This is our portal area right here. So we do have, you know, this is our ramp down. All this is supposed to be just right on down. You can drive. That's why you have no column there. So you can drive down, turn, and park. Let's see if I got that right. Yeah. So you do park here. You can park underneath of there. You can park underneath of, well, there's a column in the way, so the column in the way, so I'm trying to think where else you park. You turn, yeah, so this is the driveway down here. So this is all driveway action down this right here. And that's where we get the, coming at you. Give me a second, open it up. Can't pause. Don't want to pause. So that's where we get, oh, I've got another one. This is where we get our butterfly action going on. Remember, it's double wide. 2 cars can go past each other if they must. And so we've got plenty of room for the butterfly to take place there. They come here, and that's where they turn to exit the building also. Move that over. Move that over. So that's where they turn to exit also. So they get at the garage level. They can come here, make that rotation, turn and exit the garage, or come into the garage that way. That's why we have no columns there. That's why we have that huge tributary area. And it needed, and this beam, it was so critical, this beam right here. What was more critical is that they took out the other beams. These guys, they needed to be there. This one was high in the ceiling. This is your other transfer beam. This is a transfer beam, and they're gone. They're not present any longer. So let me move that away. They're not there. Oh, so I put that there for a car, right? So there's the yellow, and that's where the beams would have been to help break up this deck, to allow the deck and the pool not to be at the same level. Remember, this was supposed to be 2 different elevations. Also, the loading is way off. This is supposed to be 40 pounds per square foot. Clearly, if you do the math, you can't put a scrubby machine, a car, another car, then another car, and then another car on top of this deck. Multiple, multiple cycles, 8 cars just on that section alone, and expect this thing to last. It did not. Well, they knew it was cracked up. They knew it had issues. Specifically, their testing was amazing. He tested right over there, right where the shear plane happened. And he tested right here where our failure happens also, of all things. And he had a repair list for BMA. So hopefully this version will get you further down the line in understanding it. Not sure how much I can refine it more than, I can refine it, but I'm not sure how much more you guys need to see to get more details and refinement. You can watch the video over and over again. You can go look at the content online to find out, that the firemen were there, how this was set up, how that steel, you'll find that steel hanging there, how you'll find the construction joint right there. We went over that video. Then it steps back, it staggers back, and right here you'll find where the orange line is here. You'll find that you'll find the steel. You'll see the deck flapped over a little bit like that, and holding with some steel, pulling from the deck on that side. You'll be able to see the height of the fireman in there. You'll only see water up to the level of the tires over there. You'll see that that's pretty sound. You're almost looking at the back of the car, and the car's not crushed. Of course, we know the deck here is sound at this point. So the question is, how did this get damaged here? Probably during demolition, because this was out before demolition. This was nice. This wasn't teeter-tottered or anything else. I think if you take this out, you would get this to drop. It would either drop that direction or drop and crush the car. So asking about this and saying something magical in this H-beam, if you will, I do not see that. Oh, people asking about the extra steel. Well, I'll tell you what, the confinement of the steel, yeah, they had a lot of confinement of steel, but it did not show buckling. Amazing. It acted like a steel column. They look like great solid steel columns to me. Yes, the stirrups were not even broken. They looked nice. The couple of samples I saw, I really dove into it before they tore at it with the machine. And I saw those columns to be, not over in the demo section, but over here. I saw those columns to be outstanding. Outstanding the way they were able to stay straight without even popping a stirrup. The stirrup would have indicated, the pop stirrup would have indicated the buckling. And we have none of that. So there's your answer to that also. Again, there's the walkway, the bulkhead. So I can explain, you know, this got a beautiful bulkhead on it. Steel, and then the concrete wall. This side has the bulkhead for the river, ocean. What do we call it? Wall. I forget. All right. So hopefully this helps for you. I'm gonna terminate the video. What did I miss? Anything? Looking. There's your multiple elevations. That's what we're looking at there. You know, this elevation, and then you had your, you know, your parking garage. You know, your interior deck, your 13.4, and then this was where your pool area was, whatever it was, and that's your giant maintenance room, another step up. Again, these characters, you know who they are. That would be Surfside, caring about taxes right there. That Surfside, we care about taxes. We don't care about anything else. We don't really want to get to the bottom of it, do we? Taxes matter. Taxes matter. But they have enough here to point towards engineering issues. The engineer, yes, it looks like the current engineer is going to go down with it because he didn't recognize that this should be shored up from what you guys told me. So looks like he's got to go down with this ship. You know, the bus got to roll over somebody. And now they just need to make sure that if the other building, did they do this? Do they have this issue where they remove the beam? I did look at the other building when Papa Smurf was there, and it looked like you stepped down from the pool into the parking garage area on this side. The step down might be 8 inches or so. It might be a whole foot. It might be the entire foot. But it looks like from pool side to the deck side on that one. So there might be a beam inside there. Alright, so here and here, this should be one of our strongest points. As you can see, as it punctures around here, we have another redundancy going on of this one. But we've got this covered now. This is our M covered in debris, so we can't tell. But this one, the pot's next to it, we can see that this appears to stay able to puncture standing strong. But on the other, oh, I'm off on one, off by one. This one punctures, and we're able to see the back side of it. So it shows you that it's gone. Thanks again. Please comment about the multiple things. You know, we talk about Lowe's, Home Depot, PC, and PC computers, Chromebook, and also Apple. It looks like most of you guys are Apples. I did buy a lot of displays, a lot of samples, things to try to get you there. But I think, and I can do this again, I got multiple renderings I can do of this. I mean, we didn't even break out some of the cool cars. Look, we didn't even break out some of the cool cars. We still got cars we can add all over this place. But we don't need to do that to start cluttering it, right? But shoot, I got that red car. I got to put it over here. So put the red car there, and you get a limited puncturing action. Back this one up. There's nobody in the driveway at the point. And you get your limited puncturing like that. See the profile now? Your car there. You get the deck braking, folding back over. But I wanted you to see that. What's holding it up from here to here? Why isn't it draped flat? Because part of the deceleration took place was the I know, I need to stack it. Hold on. Bear with me. So the car's here. Need another car. Which one are you going to sacrifice? Convertible. Kind of high. But let's do the convertible. So, Convertible sacrifices. Thank you, convertible. So we start getting a different profile. Remember, this is 8 foot down. My blocks aren't even higher than the car. But you're starting to get the profile of what's going on. The vehicle's underneath. I did it with this one. Start showing you the height, your issues. I shouldn't have used the car at all. Start showing you the height, the issues with the drape. With the drape going on. The cars under here would pull down and still get you your drape like that. So let's get that on the ground, and then now you see a drape, and you put the cars where they belong in the spots, and you start seeing the drape action. Remember, this is a driveway here, so this is a driveway here. I believe it's two directional. So don't get that confused, and then you go down and you turn around, come around. All right, take care, guys. This was fun. Let's do it again. I think you're about there. I think you're there. I think we're golden, right? You tell me. Take care. Thanks again. What's up, George? What's up, boy? Let's see.